Having a great leader is necessary especially in strong nations. But in the fictional world, the 13th commander of the Survey Corps stands above all. Commander Erwin Smith was the best fictional character, not just in the anime and manga industry, but in the history of all TV shows. He was so admiring that he can inspire a colony of ants to rebel against their queen. But as a child, he was not nearly as cool as he is now. In fact, his friends even called him Eyebrow, and out of curiosity, he asked his father a single question that will change his life forever, and what influenced him to become Paradise Devil Commander. Despite being called the Devil, he was also known as an expert strategist, which is shown multiple times in battles. He is the man who invented the long-distance formation, decreasing soldiers' unnecessary deaths. He was the first to notice that a spy was interfering with the scouts, and during the failed attempt of capturing the female Titan, we saw how Levi deeply trusts his judgment, and how the commander himself is willing to sacrifice every one of his soldiers just to get the job done. But unfortunately, the plan failed, which forced them to retreat, making the soldiers' death meaningless. But in the second attempt, or gamble, he let the Titans go on a rampage in the Stohis district, which results in successfully capturing the female Titan. Or not. The plan results in hundreds of civilians being crushed to their deaths. He led the horde of Titans in the attempt of rescuing Eren from the plot-armored Titan and Bertortle, which results in losing his right arm, making him use his left arm in saluting instead, which is a sign of rebellion, and which he did when he successfully overthrown the government. He even made Eren a bait in the mission of retaking Wall Maria to push the plot-armored Titan to chase Eren instead of killing the horses. To be the proudest son if Erwin was my father, but his love life did not turn out that well. He had given up on marrying Marie because he was not certain when he would perish, and he thinks that is kinda unfair for Marie to experience unnecessary grief and eventually becoming a widow. In short, Erwin chooses knowledge over women. So be like Erwin. While Isayama revealed that Erwin's character was inspired by Ozymandias, a character from Watchmen known as the smartest man in the world, another influence in his character appears to be Commander Erwin Rommel, a German soldier who was known as the Desert Fox and was noted for his exceptional skills as a commander, and his willingness to defy his superiors and just orders. He was believed to be involved in the failed plan to assassinate Hitler, and as a result was given 3 options by the Nazis. He could go to court and attend trial. He will speak to Hitler and explain himself, or commit suicide using a cyanide pill. Rommel was forced to choose the third option because it's the best option, and he explained it to her wife in his last note. In my view of my service in Africa, I have the chance of dying by poison. 2 generals have brought it with them. It is fatal in 2 seconds. If I take the poison, none of the usual steps will be taken against my family, and that is against you. They will also leave my staff alone. While they share the same name, October 14th was a significant date for both of them, which was Erwin Rommel's death and Erwin Smith's birth. Behind his strong leadership and respect for his comrades, he felt intense guilt for the death of his father, and that feeling relieved every time he sacrificed his soldiers to their deaths, believing that he isn't doing it for humanity, but for his own goals. But in my opinion, that selfish goal made him irreplaceable as a commander. Because as we look on Hanji now on Season 4, she couldn't handle the weight of the responsibility of being a commander. It was too much for her to think that the future of Paradise depends on her every decision. And that same thing happened on Cape Shadis, the 12th commander of the Survey Corps. Both Hanji and Shadis lack personal desire, although they all have the same goal, which is humanity's victory. That shared goal is not as strong as Erwin's personal goal of reaching the basement. So Erwin's selfishness made him what he was now. A corpse. A title of being the greatest. Behind his strong leadership and respect for his comrades, he felt intense guilt for the death of his father, and that feeling relieved every time he sacrificed his soldiers to their deaths, believing that he isn't doing it for humanity, but for his own goals. But in my opinion, that selfish goal made him irreplaceable as a commander. In fact, he was never selfish. He only take that selfish and devil mask to make his every decision precise. Because he knows that humanity will never win if they go to the basement and discover the truths about the mysteries of the Titans. Did you think Levi is the type of person who would follow a leader that doesn't care about humanity's survival and must only be driven by his own goals? He knows that Erwin was forced to put on that devil mask just for people to fully follow him. And during the mission of retaking Walmaria, in his final moments, he led the group of new recruits into their deaths using his encouraging speech, which was almost frightening. That look on Erwin's face is full of regret, sorrow, and fear. But that doesn't stop him from screaming to charge to distract the Beast Titan. And Kenny said, "One must be drunk to something to keep moving forward." And Erwin was no different than the rest of us. He was drunk in his curiosity for knowing the mysteries of the walls. And Kenny also said that all was a slave to something. But look at Erwin. He is the living embodiment of his code. Those who cannot sacrifice things will never change a single thing in this world. And he just sacrificed that thing that he was a slave to, for his comrades to succeed. Imagine giving up on your dream, the same reason why you're alive until now, and continuing on moving forward and not giving up. Fade away, the moment when it was in your reach. And that's the story of how his greatest dream became his biggest nightmare, because the world is just cruel and proves that a mere beast can never, ever be a devil.